If you're going through heartbreak and you feel lost, like you don't even recognize yourself again, in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 fundamental steps that helped me find myself again after a very painful breakup that I've been through years ago. Looking back at it right now, it feels like I've always seemed like a strong person. I've always tried to give my all. I loved deeply, I cared so much, and I committed fully. But after the heartbreak that I've been through, I felt so lost that I didn't even know who I was anymore. And no matter how much I tried to move on, a part of me kept looking back, wondering if I'll ever feel like me again. If this sounds familiar, I want you to know that you're not alone in this. And more importantly, you can rebuild your sense of self stronger than ever before. Today, I'm going to share with you how I did it so that you know that you can do it too. So here's something you might not realize. The reason this heartbreak feels so devastating isn't just because you loved so deeply. It's because your sense of self might have been tied to the relationship. So here are some of the things that I felt that made me feel like I lost myself in the relationship, so that you can recognize if this is how you're feeling right now. I used to feel mostly secure, mainly when I was with my ex. I used to worry about his feelings more than my own. I changed parts of myself to keep the relationship going and to feel that it is stable and solid and we will continue to be together. And finally, when the relationship ended, I didn't know who I was without him. All of these things and more happen especially for women with an anxious attachment style. Though you might not even realize that you have one. Initially, I did not realize that I was anxiously attached. But mainly people who have an anxious attachment style, what it really means is that we naturally crave deep emotional connection. But sometimes that connection can become our whole world, and that's when it becomes a problem. But here's the truth that I discovered after doing the inner work. My identity, your identity, is not defined by a relationship. It's not. And today in this video, we are going to reconnect with a version of you that have always existed beyond this relationship, beyond love, and outside of anyone else's validation. It's really important for you to remember that you are way more than just someone else's partner. But the challenge is that when we have an anxious attachment style, we sometimes shape our entire identity, our entire being around being the perfect girlfriend, the perfect partner, the one who always gives 110% of the time. So when that relationship ends, it does feel like we have lost our purpose. Now it's time to change that. So I want you to ask yourself this question: who am I beyond love? So here are some journal prompts that would help you discover or rediscover yourself. You can journal and write and reflect on questions like, who do I believe myself to be outside of my relationship with anyone else? In other words, who am I when no one's watching? Question number 2, what do I value about myself outside my ability to love? Question number 3, in this life, what brings feelings of joy, enthusiasm, and aliveness to my heart? Now, the purpose of these questions is to help you reclaim the real you, that version of you that existed before and still exists now, but you just need to remember that it's right there inside of you somewhere. When I look back, I think a big reason I felt lost after the breakup was because I did not trust myself fully. I trusted the relationship, I trusted him, I trusted the connection. And when it was gone, I felt that I could not rely on my instincts, on my choices, on my ability to make the right decisions in my life. But I want you to remember this. Confidence isn't built through relationships. It's built through self-trust. And the fastest way to rebuild our sense of trust in ourselves, and therefore our confidence, are 3 things. So let's begin with the first one. The first thing for you is to remember that you have survived all the challenges that you have been through in your life before. And the evidence is that you're still here. watching this video. This means that you do have the mental and emotional resilience that enables you to survive life's most difficult experiences and situations. This means that you have everything inside you to not only survive this breakup, but to actually use it to become your best and to live your best life. The second thing that would help you build your self-trust again and therefore your self-confidence is by doing the right thing. I mean, have you ever noticed that when you do the right thing, you feel really good about yourself? There is power that comes with listening to and acting upon the voice of our conscience. This is the highest, purest, and truest part of who we are. It speaks to us all the time, but we need to get into the habit of listening to it more. I bet that right now, this voice, the voice of your conscience, is actually telling you to do the biggest and most important job of your life, and that is to take care of you. You see, your number one responsibility in this life is to do everything you can possibly do to support yourself. You are your own child, parent, best friend, cheerleader, so act as such. The best thing and the right thing to do during this breakup is to choose what's healthy for you. The healthy thing for you in this situation is to give your attention, your focus, and all of your energy to support yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. To not only survive this breakup, but to actually use it as a catalyst to go to your next level of life. The third thing that would help us build self-trust and therefore confidence that we can heal from this heartbreak is to keep our promises to ourselves. One of the best ways to honor ourselves is to keep the promises that we make to ourselves. I mean, do you ever find it interesting and sometimes quite annoying that we keep the promises that we make to other people more than we keep the promises that we make to ourselves? I mean, really, why do we do that? So please, starting from today, get into the habit of honoring the promises, the words that you give to yourself, as if you're making them to your best friend or your most loved one. Start by making small commitments and feel how great it is to follow through. Even tiny things like drinking more water, getting up early, going out for a walk, taking time for yourself, not reaching back to your ex because you know this is the right thing to do. Remember this, your self-worth isn't based on someone else accepting you. It's based on you choosing you every single day. All right, so step number 3 that really helped me find myself after heartbreak is to reprioritize and rediscover my passions. So think about this. When you were in the relationship, what parts of yourself did you neglect or even put on hold? Maybe you stopped pursuing certain goals, or maybe your happiness became secondary to your exes. Now it's time to take that back. It's really important to redirect your focus, your attention, and your energy to what you believe is the most important thing in your life right now. So why don't you take a few minutes to journal about which areas of your life are going to be your main focus for the next 3 months, for example. And what would you like to achieve in this area? I'll give you an example. When I did exercise years ago when I was going through this breakup, I really wanted to focus on my mental health because I was experiencing so much anxiety that negatively affected the quality of my life. So I started educating myself, doing things like reading books, taking courses, watching YouTube videos about how to find my inner peace and how to balance myself mentally and emotionally. Having priorities or areas of focus help us make the best of our time and energy on this planet. So make sure that you have a clear North Star that is going to help steer you in the right direction, especially at this challenging time that you're going through. This is also a great time for you to reignite your passions. So how can you do that? For example, you can try something that you have always wanted to do, but you've never had the time to. Reconnect with friends who support you and uplift you. Set new professional or personal goals. Do things that make you feel independent and complete on your own. And most importantly, do things that bring joy and passion to your heart. Remember, this isn't about keeping busy to forget the pain. It's about showing yourself that you exist beyond love and that your happiness isn't dependent on someone else. Listen, I know this is hard. I know because I've been through it. I know that you still feel the ache of what you think you lost. But please hear me when I say this. You are not lost. You are just rediscovering yourself. You are finding your way back to yourself. And this version of you, she is stronger, wiser, happier, and more whole than ever. Now, I'd like you to tell me in the comments what's one thing you're going to do this week to reconnect with yourself. And if you're ready for more support, make sure to subscribe because I have so much more to share with you on your journey to healing and confidence. And I'll see you in the next video.